Welcome to Lotus Student Mentor channel. In this session, we are going to study what is the input from the user in Python programming. What is the meaning of here? Taking input from the user means we are going to use the input function here. First it takes the input from the user and converts it into a string. The type of the returned object always will be here the string type. And Python provides a built-in function called input, which takes the input from the user. When an input function is called when we call it input function, what will happen? It stops the program and waits for the user's input. We will understand better while executing the demonstration. And when the user presses the enter after giving the input, the program resumes and returns whatever the user typed. The syntax of the input from the user is very simple. That is input and a prompt. This prompt is an optional string that is displayed on the console, and the console means on the monitor. That's what console, to guide the user about what to input. After giving that, if you remove this prompt, then no message will be displayed on the console. What is the meaning here? Input, suppose enter your name in double quotes. This enter your name will be displayed on the console. That's what. If you don't write anything as a prompt, then it won't be, no message will be displayed. Then you have to type it directly. Now, how the very simple program we are going to displaying here, input from the user. The value equal to input, that is double quotes enter your value. This enter your value will be displayed. Then if we enter it, that value will be, that is a print value. Okay, this is the input from the user, taking input from the user. That's the simple program. This value equal to input, that means this enter your value will be displayed, because that is called print value. Then we have to enter the value, then that value will be displayed again. Whatever we typed, that also will be displayed. How the input function works in Python? There are 3 steps are there. First one is that waits for input. When the input function is called, the program execution pauses till you enter the input, and the user can type input on the console. How much time you wait? It will wait for the program, that pausing will be there. The next stage is that takes user input. After pausing, that means pausing is waiting for the taking user input. Then function reads the user's input as a string, regardless of what the user enters. Is very, very important. The third stage is that returns the input. Once the user presses the enter, the input is returned as a string. Just we'll understand better, we'll come back again after demonstrating this, what is the input from the user, step by step. Then you'll understand better. Then coming to here, the multiple input in Python. What is the multiple inputs? Here, that is before you have studied that single user input. Now here, we are going to use the split method is used here. In split method, when you give number of multiple inputs, like means more than one inputs you can give. Suppose 12, 25. That is the 12 we give only, example I am saying. You can give any number. If you are giving single number, that is single input in Python. You are giving multiple number by giving the space, then it is known as multiple inputs. Here, it prints with corresponding the values labels either 2 or 3 based on the number of inputs provided by the user. Let us demonstrate practically this taking single input from the user and taking multiple input from the user. Coming to here, single input from the user, the value here input, that is enter the value, that is print value. Now run. Before running here, yes, it is to be saved. Now enter the value. If you enter the value 12, you see this enter the value, this is the console platform. This is what console is. Enter your value, that is 12 I gave, then enter it, press enter, that is the 12. Next, if you enter any value, if you give it, what is it again? Run again, F5, again enter your value. What is it? Enter your value is displayed on the console, then you can enter as on 450. Then press enter. What is that output here? The 450 will be this. That is printing. This is 450 related to the print. This enter your value related to input syntax. That is called input, that prompt. That's called in taking users input. That is a single input. Now coming to here, one more case study. I'm going to deactivate it by typing hash, then it won't be displayed. The coming to next one is that multiple, if you want to take new line break, it causes the new line break. This is also taking input, single input from the user. But what is the difference between before case and here? Second case is that there is the backslash n is there. What will happen? That is known as the new line. It causes a line break. Let us see what it is. Control S, press enter 5. Then what is your name? If you enter Lotus, okay, then enter. The break, this is a new line entered. Before here, before cases, if you see, there is no new line. Now it became to second line. Alright. This Lotus is input, taking input from the user, black color, and the blue color Lotus is the output, came from the program. Now coming to, if you want to give double new lines, what will happen? If you give double new lines, it becomes, there are two lines, it goes below. What is your name will be displayed? When you type it, it goes the two new lines. Let us Control S and F5. Now you see, you can see it here, double new line. Two spaces it went down. If you type it Lotus, then it will be printed below only. You see, you can see it here, this distance between what is your name and Lotus is the only single line break. Now second case we gave two new lines break, that means it went down. Now coming to next case, the next case is that if you are giving, that is F string. This is the F string method. I am going to show you here. If you see, this is also taking input from the user, but the way you entered here, F stand for F string. This data, it will be there. Nothing is displayed here. There is no, if you see enter your value, here we did not enter nothing. That is called empty space is there. Suppose Control S, and if you execute the program, nothing is getting displayed. Then you have to type it something, data 1, 2. Then you see, that thing is displayed. We have to enter it something. Then you entered 12. What is the meaning here? Why it came like that? Because input, in the input function, we did not write anything. That's why it did not display anything. Nothing was displayed. Then print, what should be printed? You entered. What is the data? The data I entered 12. That's why you entered, that is the 12 is displayed. Again, I'm going to display here. Please carefully attention. Here in before cases, input, enter your value. This enter your value is displayed on the console. But whereas in this input function, there is no nothing, we did not mention it, nothing, no string mentioned. That's why it is empty space. At that time you have to enter, then that value will be printed. This F for F string. Coming to next case. What is the next case here? Taking input from the user, again it should be converted into integer number. Now in this program, if you see taking input from the user, but we are taking input from the user as a string, but a string, that value will be converted into the integer. That is what int. That's why number equal to int, again input enter value. This why it is a string, it takes as because it is in double quotes in the input function. That string is going to be converted into integer. That integer value will be substituted here num place. Suppose if we enter value of 5 or 10, that 10 plus 5, that is 15. That 15 will be displayed here in the print. Let us see what is that, what is the meaning. If you execute the program, enter your value. What is the entering your value? If you enter your value of 12, I am going to show you configure idle. I am reduce the size so that it will be displayed better. Yes, if you enter your value, what is the value if you enter? If you enter the value of 10, add 1, what is displayed here? The total entry value of 10. Now, let us see. Yes, print the value, add num equal to 10 plus 5. Yes, if you enter the value 10, then 10 plus 5, that is 15 will be displayed. Now enter a value 5 or 2, 2 plus 5, that is 7, 2, enter. Then what happened? The sum is 2 plus 5, 7. Alright, this is the way, this is what a single taking user's input. That is single input from the user. Now coming to multiple inputs. What are the multiple inputs here? The multiple inputs you can see. You can also increase the size, go to options, there you can increase the size, apply, OK. The program is displayed. Now here what is the input? Taking two inputs. Before you have studied taking single input from the user. Now here in this program we are going to take two inputs at a time. Now x comma y, that is input equal to enter two values, dot split. That is what important here. If dot split is not there, the program won't be executed. What is the print? Print number of boys, that is x, print number of girls and y. Now in the second case, taking three inputs at a time. But x, what is the x? Three variables are x comma y comma z. That is input, enter three values, dot split. What is the dot split is? A dot split method is highly useful for taking multiple inputs from the user. Let us execute the program. Then you have to enter two values, 12 comma 13. Then it will be displayed number of boys 12 and number of girls 13. The next case is I am going to give you 1 comma 1 space 2 again space 3. Enter three values were given. The total number of students 1, number of boys is 2, number of girls is 3. Why here, if you give these two values 12 and 13, there should be a gap, should be their space. Otherwise it won't be executed. I am going to demonstrate this also. Suppose Control S, take a, run the file. Now two values 12 and 13. I did not give any space. If you enter it, yes, there will be error. The error will be displayed. Why? The value not enough values to unpack. Unexpected 2 got 1. Expected 2, that means it is considering 1, 2 and 1, 3 as a single number. Alright. So if it is become two numbers, what to do? Again, if you give it, that's why it is considered. If you don't give any space, what it take it will take it as, it takes it as a single number. That's why 12, give a space, and 13. Then it will be displayed 12, 13. That means there are two numbers. Similarly 13, if again 12, 13 space and 14 like that, then it takes as multiple inputs, that is multiple inputs from the user. Now let us come to this. What about the summary of this session is that what is the syntax of taking single input from the user, and the syntax of the taking multiple input from the user, and also displayed and also demonstrated what is the single user input and multiple input, taking multiple input in Python. Thank you for the watching.